Racing to the 2021 Kentucky Derby, and this time let's take a look at another Kentucky Derby starter, the Grade 1 Florida Derby winner, Known Agenda. And an impressive win, winning by over 2 lengths, defeating Soup and Sandwich and Greatest Honor in that race. Known Agenda, starting with the pedigree, he does have some strong stamina influences on the sire side. And the turf pedigree definitely adds some stamina, especially as you start getting second and third generations on that female side of the family. Meanwhile, Curlin, of course, the sire, was a 2-time Horse of the Year, ran some impressive races at 1.25 miles, competed in the Triple Crown Series, was favored in the Kentucky Derby and ended up finishing 3rd in that race. Then came back and had a memorable battle in the Preakness and the Belmont Stakes. So Curlin definitely seems to be stamping them as a distance sire as well. And when you take a look at the trainer on this one, Todd Pletcher, of course, he was a 5-time Florida Derby winner coming into this race, and then Known Agenda made it his 6th Florida Derby. And the jockey was Irad Ortiz, and building up a nice resume here. He ran in the Remsen Stakes as a 2-year-old, finished 3rd in that race, but that was a fastly run race, ran 1 1/8 miles. Then as a 3-year-old now, he's built up a strong foundation, kind of more of an old school type foundation with 3 prep races. And how that kind of came about was his Sam F. Davis was just a non-effort. He just spun his wheels, started off slow, never really got into the race. He did rally a little bit late, and so there was something there. Then they took some time off, freshened him up, added Lasix, and put blinkers on in an allowance race at Gulfstream. That was a 1.8 miles race. He got only an 82 Beyer speed figure in that race, but it was the only route race of the day, and it was a nice time for late in that 2-year-old season. So he picked up that nice Beyer, a nice win, got some foundation, because he didn't really get much out of that Sam F. Davis besides the workout and whatever. Then they came back into the Florida Derby off a couple of nice workouts again, some good closing finishes, good final quarters. That Curlin tends to stamp them out as they get older and the distances get a little bit longer. Tucked in early on inside in the Florida Derby, then got out on the turn and powered away to a victory. Now, he did drift out a little bit late in that race, so that's always a little bit of a concern, but it wasn't a continued drift and through the wire, so we'll have to see how he comes out of that. But this is one of the horses that is perfectly fit coming out of this race. Those 3 1/8 miles races, one of them as a 2-year-old, 2 of them as a 3-year-old, a 3 prep campaign. And really, they just got to do some minimal maintenance work here out of this race, and he'll have 5 weeks to recover from this effort. The Beyer boys gave him a 94 speed figure, Beyer speed figure in this race, which puts him competitively in the mix with some of the other horses, but still a little bit of room for some upside for Known Agenda. Now, the connections on this one, Todd Pletcher, he is the holder of the most Kentucky Derby starters lifetime, 55 Kentucky Derby starters. He went past D. Wayne Lucas a couple of years ago. And with 2 Kentucky Derby winners, both of them in the slop, that was Super Saver and Always Dreaming just a few years back. So Todd Pletcher has put the roses on twice in his training career, and 55 Kentucky Derby starters. He's one of those trainers that's thrown a lot of horses into the race. When he has a good horse, though, he tends to get him up there, though. One of the things is both of his Derby winners did kind of bounce out of that Derby race. Super Saver was up the track in the Preakness, and so was Always Dreaming. So that one to watch as we get closer to the Preakness Stakes. Meanwhile, Irad Ortiz looking for his first Derby victory. He's had 4 Derby mounts in his career. Kind of a string of long shots and some well-meant horses. He had Uncle Si, who made a move and then ended up finishing in the top 6 of his Derby. Then Hofberg made a late move, but that horse was kind of lightly raced. Again, he came out of Florida for Bill Mott in that one. My Man Sam, and also, you know, he really never fired in the Kentucky Derby. Irad Ortiz riding well, set a good Gulfstream Park record for wins at a championship meet, so he seems to be riding well. Todd Pletcher ended up with a good Gulfstream Park meet and possibility of trying to still get some more Derby starters as we film this. So Kentucky Derby contender Known Agenda. What do you think of him? Leave a comment below. Does he fit? I think he fits kind of in that top 5 or top 6 favorites right now for the Kentucky Derby. Leave a comment. Remember, we've also got profile videos up of Mandaloun, Midnight Bourbon, and more Kentucky Derby starters along the way. Hit subscribe, ring that bell as we lead you up to the 2021 Kentucky Derby.